right, mic check, mic check, mic check. Was just looking at a couple of numbers. So let me go ahead and get this off the screen. I am on a time schedule here that I will be keeping to a T, man. I wanted to make sure I was going out. Hey, this is super early for your boy Rod. I'm a prime time dude. I go 8 p.m., not 8 a.m. But hey, man, I have a guest today that if this individual would have wanted to do this at 3 a.m., your boy would have been here. So it is an honor, as a content creator, and I'm not going to do a lot of pre-talking with this and not a lot of the things I normally would do because I need to get right to business. But as a content creator, it's a little different as a viewer. When I was a viewer, I used to wish I could meet certain YouTubers. There were people that I followed, that I watched in the Points and Miles credit game, how I started on YouTube with Points Blank Travel. And then I moved over to the finance niche and other niches. But once I became a creator, it became a little different. And today is super special for me because this is a person I watched as a viewer. And then I morphed into watching as a content creator. And today I'm being honored and may stumble over a few words because your boy didn't get much sleep last night. I'm like a little kid on Christmas, but I'm honored to be sharing a stage with a woman, an individual, a human being that I have set some of my personal and financial goals to be like one day. And the cool part is she's probably a decade and a half younger than me, which is more impressive to me to see the younger generation doing things that I wasn't even thinking about X amount of years ago. With that being said, without any further ado, welcome to Investing with Travel. See, I'm so confused. I'm talking about Investing with Travel. Investing with Rod on this channel. We talk about crypto. We talk about stocks. We talk about exchange traded funds or ETFs. But more importantly, we show you how to invest on a budget. You don't have $5, $10, $2, $1. Your boy Rod is going to show you how to do it. Keep in mind, neither my guest nor myself are financial advisors, nor are we fiduciaries. Please consult with a licensed professional and do your own research before you invest any of your hard-earned money. We're here just to show you our journey, what we're doing, but it's up to you to provide the path for your journey. With that being said, let me bring up my guest, Shelise from Mommy Trader, and I am honored, and as you can tell, a little nervous, which it's rare for me. So how you doing, Shelise?
I'm doing well. You don't have to be nervous. It's just old friends having a conversation. That's all. So thank you for having me. Good morning to you and to all of your community. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, thank you for being here. It is a little early for my community, and I put it out. I promoted it. I told people, and I'm expecting a few people. I know I have a couple of people traveling, a couple of friends, content creators, whatever. So I'm sure they'll be trickling in, but I do want to keep this 60 minutes or less, ladies and gentlemen, I was blessed to get Shelise here, but to get here on a Saturday, I have to respect that. So with that being said, can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself? I'm not going to even take the time to take myself down. I'm going to sit here and tune in.
Okay. My name is Shelise. I say it on my channel often. I'm a mother. I have a 19-year-old who's coming to visit me this morning. That's why I'll be doing that after this. I have a 15 and a 13-year-old. So mom to three, a wife to an amazing guy, over 20 years. And I am just somebody who's trying to get to financial freedom. And I'm hoping that other people want to, no matter what your goals are. I think we all get tired of working every now and then, but you need something to live on. And I think that's the reason why all of us are doing what we're doing. And that's the mission of MT or Mommy Trader. Personally, on the channel, financially, is just to have something, when I'm ready to stop. So that's pretty much about me. I am the oldest. So I think you see, my husband is the oldest too. So maybe that's why we kind of mesh so well. And I just enjoy everything when it comes to finance. So yeah.
Wow. And I'm the oldest. Maybe that's why I watch. And it's a lot of pressure being the oldest. was for me. And I messed up all the pressure points. My brother, get it right. We still talk about it and joke about it today. And, I knew you were a mother,
Mhm.
and I know the whole spiel. And I had to get used to the going from 40 to 41. I'm a mom, I'm a wife,
Yes.
I'm a
Yes.
mother, I'm a 40-year-old mother, I'm a worker bee.
Mhm.
Man, I got this down. I could be on the show now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get right to it.
Mhm.
40 years old, 41 now.
41.
I watched a video recently where you only spoke of investments where you and your husband had achieved a milestone, $500,000 invested, not to mention your rental properties and other things.
Mhm.
This is going to be probably a multi-part question, but number one, as an individual, as a wife, a mother, and everything we always hear and say, how do you feel about it personally?
Um, well, it's the post that I put up that you're referencing, that's 500K in one account. I think the total we have invested is a little over 800, but the market, well, that was before yesterday. Before yesterday, I think all of us are down thousands of dollars, but that's okay. But how does it make me feel? I think it makes me feel two things. One, blessed, because where I came from, I'm not supposed to be here, if that makes sense. I
Yes.
grew up in North Philadelphia. Now I don't live there anymore, but it's almost like living in the Bronx or living in Chicago or Detroit. Like it's the hood, it's the inner city. Like it's tough. I mean, to
Mhm,
grow up there, you have to have a thick skin. You have to really kind of navigate through the tough waters.
mhm,
So statistically, I'm not supposed to be here, nor my husband. Um, but I think the reason why I say blessed is because, it's only because God opened doors.
mhm,
And now we had to go through them and we had to do the work. We had to make the sacrifice, but he opened the door. So it would behoove me to not even acknowledge that part. Like I
mhm,
am blessed. Secondly, I think it makes me feel, oh, I want to say validated because I remember growing up, I would scroll through the channels on my way to watch Martin or Living Single or something, and I would see like the investing channels or like Fox Business or something. I would see the tickers, and they would talk about stocks, but I just didn't care, to be honest.
mhm,
I just didn't think it was something I could do. I knew no one, my grandmother, my uncles, my aunts, my parents, no one invested anything. I didn't even know anyone who really retired. They either had to stop working or they died. It wasn't like, no, hey, I'm retired now, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So to get to this point makes me feel validated in the sense of, anyone can do this. Like if I can do this coming from where I came from, and thinking it was only for a certain type of person. I mean, that's what I love about today and social media. It's just that it exposes you to what's possible. Like, yes, you can have a seat at the table. Yes, you can put your money in the stock market and you could understand it and you can tell your cousins, because I do, nieces, nephews, my husband and I talk, my children, this is what you should be doing. Don't do this, don't do that, because now exposure is a very good thing when it
mhm.
comes to finance. And so the two, I mean, how I'm feeling blessed and just feeling validated that, I can do this and I am doing it. And so, yeah.
That's inspirational. And for people that's here now and people watching the replay, man, please listen to those words, because
Mhm.
one of the reasons that I started this series, it doesn't matter what you have in your bank account. At the end of the day, we're everyday people, man. And to see everyday people do it, it let me know it can be done. I just have to put my mind to it. If
Mm,
Shelise can do it, Rod can do it. If Rod can do it, Charles can do it. And we can keep going and going
yes.
and going. No. Now, with that being said, and I came from the South, I wouldn't say the inner city, but I came from the inner country. And it was rough. And I experienced exactly carbon copy everything that Shelise just described. Do people back when you go home, or even people you've met along the way, do they look at you differently now because you're bank account or your economic status is different and you're on YouTube? And do they treat you differently? Do they think you act differently? I'm just curious.
No, I think they're curious,
Hmm.
and curiosity can be a good thing.
Hmm.
Especially when it comes to finance. I think a lot of times we shy away from it because you're putting yourself out there, you're putting your business out there, but somebody has to be the first. Somebody has to do it. Like somebody has to kind of lay the foundation and make the way plain using a scripture verse or as a gospel song. But somebody has to be first partakers because if no one does, then everyone will remain in the dark. So I love the curiosity when they just simply ask, I was thinking about getting this credit card. What do you think? I love questions like that because
Oh boy.
I didn't have that growing up. My husband really didn't either, but now he has a lot of young men asking him, well, I'm thinking of, opening this bank account. I wanted to run it past you. What did you like? Curiosity inspires change. And so, no, I mean, I can't control how people think.
Hmm.
But my experience so far has been curiosity. And I think once they get comfortable with me with that subject, they will continue to ask for feedback, which I always love. It's never too late, it's never too early. They'll ask me, "Hey, I'm considering, maybe getting this job here. What do you think? Can you look over this lease for me? Can you look over this contract for me? Can you help me with I want to go look at a house. Can you come with me? Can you talk to me about interest rates?" This is how we change the narrative when it comes to
Hmm.
finance. We have to allow ourselves to be open to questions. So yeah, they're curious, and that's a good thing. Ask me all you want. And you know what, Rod?
Uh-huh.
When I go to like family reunions, functions, barbecues, cookouts, most of the time we're talking about stuff that really just don't matter or mean nothing.
No.
Celebrities, sports, which are fine in their place, but if we can have conversations about how can we elevate ourselves when it comes to investing, budgeting,
Hmm.
getting out of debt, stop using a firm, these types, it will have such a greater impact. If more than what we realize. So yeah, people are
Right.
curious and I love it. Yeah.
Man, we may be related because I swear we have a lot in common. I mean, like a lot of people when they go to a family function, they want to leave reality behind.
Hmm.
They don't want to talk about investing or finances or life. They want to play dominoes in space, and that's cool. But you play dominoes in space with me, I'm gonna talk to you about a little, hey, what
Hmm.
Oracle may be doing, or what's going on with rare earth that I just found out about yesterday. I'm gonna talk to you, and if we can't have that common ground, I can change up, but I probably won't
Hmm.
be talking to you long. I'm not
Hmm.
there to recruit anybody to be an investor, but which is going to be a segue into my next question. There are a lot of people out there that have a fear when it comes to stocks, crypto. So I started, I think, in 2024. I said, there are no more excuses. I mean, there's Google, there's YouTube, there's content creators, there's people talking about investing. There's no excuses. We don't have to go to the library and get a card anymore.
Hmm.
Um, so, for the people that are afraid to get into investing, what are some of the high yield savings accounts or HSAs that come to mind? Now, keep in mind, everyone, we're not giving advice. I'm asking her what are some that come to mind as if her and I are having a phone conversation or a FaceTime conversation. What are
Hmm.
some high yield saving accounts that come to mind for you?
I think the easiest one that I've been using for years and years and years is Capital One. They
Mhm.
used to be ING, and
Mhm.
that had to have been 18 years ago.
Yeah. With
And
the
they were
little
suffering
lion,
before.
they have
Yeah,
a lion. Yeah.
yes, exactly. So I like I've been with them so long, I'm so familiar with them. And I really have no complaints when it comes to high yield savings accounts. I like the fact that they are a brick and mortar. So if I need to go in to a branch or to go in to talk to someone, I love that as well. I also like Ally or Ally, depending on who you
Mhm.
talk to. They are an online only bank, but they have some of the greatest interest rates out there, which is great. They have the bucket system, which I really do like. They're really easy to use. great customer service, and I like both of those. So those are the two that if there was someone brand spanking new and they're trying to get started with saving their money and they're looking for good high yield savings accounts, Capital One and Ally, you can start there. Easy peasy.
I love that answer. And I want to point out something. A lot of times when we hear Capital One, especially a content creator that's in the credit card niche, we associate Capital One with bad credit or challenge credit or starting out. Capital One have products out there for everyone. So please do your research.
Yeah.
Second thing, Ally. I've had an Ally account for years. I financed 2 vehicles with Ally. I recently, through my move, remembered that I had Ally. And the buckets are a lifesaver. I'm actually going to do a video on the buckets. I have it prepped and ready. I just keep running into other things. But look into Ally. It's cheap. I think it's $25 to deposit each deposit, but it's like nothing to start or something, maybe $25 to start, no fees. It's great. So I just wanted to ask Shelise about that. Now, we got a person that's got their, not a person, Shelise has got her high yield savings account. She's watched Mommy Trader. She's thinks she's ready. What would Shelise of yesteryear, the top 3 investments Shelise would make? Top 3. I know you have several now, and I probably know your portfolio better than you do. I watch it.
Well, the first thing I would tell old Shelise, or I'm teaching my daughter. She's 19, so she's a brand spanking new, and I have a chance to like do things right. I have a do-over, so I thank God for that. It would be to first, I have to open up an account. So I would connect my Capital One to a brokerage account. So I could choose, oh my goodness, Rod, there's so many out there. I mean, you guys are lucky today because even 11, 12 years ago, it wasn't as many available. But I mean, I would probably just choose for my own, if I was a beginner, I would probably choose Fidelity because they have a lot of like informational resources there. So if you're learning, they have a lot of articles. You can research a lot of definitions and terms. They have a great customer service department, so you can talk to somebody and get some help. But I would connect my Capital One to my Fidelity account. I would open it because many people forget that. And then I would make my first investment. I would say if I'm new, just to keep things simple, I would just start with one ETF. I don't need any individual stocks. I don't need anything crazy, nothing hype. I'm new. I'm a beginner. I'm learning. One ETF. I would probably pick a Fidelity-based one because I don't think there are any fees with most of their Fidelity-based ETFs. So I would probably pick FXAIX, which I know Lisa's here. She's familiar with that one. I'm sure you are too. S&P 500, that's all you need. You don't really have to confuse yourself. It doesn't have to get overly complicated because it can if you are stretched too thin. And while you're learning, I would just make my deposits, like you said, $25. So it would be FXAIX. If I had to pick another one, maybe I want a little bit of dividends. I've been watching videos. I like passive income. I want something a little safe. I would probably get into like a dividend income or dividend growth. You can do SCHD or DGRO. And then if I wanted an individual stock, because I get it, you're learning, everybody wants to dip their feet in the water, just start with something you use. My first stock that I ever purchased was Microsoft. Why? Now, I didn't know a whole lot about it, but I was using it on the computer all the time. And I knew of Bill Gates. I didn't know who he was in detail, but I had heard of him, through different movies. He was referenced in a lot of like rap songs. He was the richest guy in the world. And I knew he was connected to Microsoft, and that's all I knew while I was learning, and bought Microsoft. And that was a great starting point. So if you don't know where to start and you want to get individual stocks, though I suggest you wait while you're still learning because individual stocks are risky, start with what you use. If you are using an Apple, I'm sorry.
That's cool, man. I came out and said invest in travel. I mean, it don't get no worse than messing with your own channel.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to my my screen.
If you have to if you have to go out and hit the link again and come back in, that's cool, man. We cool.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I hear you. I see your little avatar. You probably have to on the one with the camera, hit that little arrow, and then it should give you a list of your cameras. Say your
okay.
And then it should click whichever one you using. Okay, the device not connected, so it's not that one. Whatever you got there is not connected. Okay, there you are. There you are. There you are.
See? Okay, where's my face? I don't know where my face is.
I'm gonna take you down, and I'll be able to see you though. All right, and while Mommy Trader's doing that, man, it is an honor, man. It is so much information, y'all. A lot of the things that we're saying here, mostly Mommy Trader, people pay hundreds and thousands of dollars to hear. So to be able to get this information and it's being put out there, and I put in the comments, shout out to Lisa J. Stocks, and I'm gonna say why I say that comment when Mommy Trader comes back, because I realized that I have AIX in my 401k, but that was it. And I've been investing in it for at least 12, 15 years. However, there's something I want to shout out about Lisa with that. And I'm going to wait until Mommy Trader come back with that. And one of the things here, man, again, we're not financial advisors. My biggest thing here is to just educate, elevate, and motivate people. And here's Mommy Trader's back. It's the, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear and see you. You know what? I'm sorry, but that's life, right? Sometimes when you're investing, you're budgeting, you're saving, you're paying off debt, something happens. You got to pause, you got to stop, you got to log out. But guess what? You can log back in and you can just continue with the journey. So this was a great opportunity, because sometimes on this financial journey, people will tell me, oh, Shelise, I have to stop because my car is having problems or this. I said, listen, that don't stop the fire. You just log out, and then when you can, you get back in and you finish the journey. So this was a great opportunity. So yeah, I don't know what happened, but that's all right.
It doesn't matter. And Shelise bring up a good point. Even and look at a support system, how that all flowed. That none of this is scripted. I don't script anything I do. Instead of me sitting there, what am I going to do? I continue to flow.
Yes.
And we got Mommy. It's almost, and this is life. If you have a support system where, you know, there's a song, we fall down and we get up, but it's easy if we fall down and someone help us up. Can I get an amen in the back for the people?
Amen.
You know, we fall down, we going to get up. But if it's somebody helping us get up, it's a little bit easy, especially when you're 56 like your boy. It's getting a little harder for me. You know, I didn't think it was going to ever be like this. But anyway, so FXAIX, DGRO, and what was the third one?
If I had to pick an individual stock, Microsoft, yes. Microsoft.
It's crazy. Yeah, I got to go back to Mommy Trader school. I got 1 out of 3. And I put them down last night because I knew I was going to ask this question. And I wrote them down, y'all. If y'all may not be able to see my phone, I got DGRO, Main, and VTI.
I love VTI.
I know you do.
If I had to, I picked FXAIX because it's with Fidelity and it's just easier if you're a beginner. I started investing in VTI a couple years back, and I bought it for my children. Now, my special needs son, who is 15, you're trying to, I try to teach him about money, and he doesn't understand. He has autism. But the one ETF he knew, he don't have to know Apple. He don't have to know nothing else. Just one. And I like that simple ETF covers everything. Like, you don't have to have just tech. The S&P 500 is the top 10 companies, I think, are all tech, maybe except for one, but NVIDIA, Microsoft, Google, it's all tech for the most part. But if you want a little bit of something else, some financial, some healthcare, some industrials, VTI is great. You can set it and forget it, put your money in, move on. I had someone on my channel tell me she just reached 50 shares in it, which is amazing because 50 shares is like a couple of $1,000s just by putting money in for the last year and a half. So if you're new, keep it simple with an ETF, and that way you can elevate and learn more about the markets before you kind of, because one of the mistakes I made, Rod, when I was a beginner was trying to do too much. I was
Mhm.
excited. I was excited. I was, gung ho, but sometimes you can move a little bit too fast, and it's okay to go your pace. Some people are slower learners than others, which is fine. And if you need extra time, you can just stick with a couple of good ETFs, and that's it. If you don't feel comfortable, because I know people that I talk to that are not comfortable with individual stocks, they will not buy and that is okay as well. I think I just want people to invest.
Same here.
Just invest.
Same here. Just and Shelise said it best: buy what you use. And I'm gonna break something down. VTI, in case for those of you who don't know, it's the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. It's all of the U.S. big company. I think it's what 5,000, 6,000. I can't remember the number. It's a lot of them. But
Mhm.
you put your money in there and you forget about it. Or reason DGRO, that's like a growth ETF. It's the bigger companies that's going to make your money continue to grow. The reason I said, now she said Microsoft, I didn't get to that video, I guess. The reason I said Maine is I know Shelise is huge on dividends. She just posted a video last month. They made $1,700 in dividends. Some people ain't even making $1,700 a month going to work 40 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, and they're making $1,700 a month on passive income. This ain't where I want Rod to be. This ain't where I want Charlie to be. A party of one is no fun. A party of five is to get together. A party where everybody there, that's a party. Plus, I'm getting bored out here retired. I need some people out here with me. And everybody else, if everybody got some money, y'all can all quit your jobs and hang out with me. I ain't got no money, so I really need y'all to have some. Anyway, y'all, I like to have fun. But seriously, man, we want to teach people and show people how easy it is. This stuff, blessed. Man, I don't watch the Joneses. I don't try to keep up with the Joneses. I am the Joneses. I want people keeping up with me. And they ain't gonna keep up with me if I'm not doing anything that's motivational and positive. Please keep that in mind. Now, with the kids, I want to talk about something. I heard it before and I had to listen. I had to find it again. First and foremost, before I said that little thing about the 52-year-old lady who didn't think she could get in the
Yes.
ETFs, that
Yes.
short is on my channel. I shared her short. Mommy Trader Short is on my channel. You can go to her channel. Please go to her channel and watch it. Mommy Trader. If you can't find it, it's on mine. Go to my community. It's right there because that was so inspiring. I rarely share and that inspired me. So go and check it out. Now, you have a vehicle and probably could buy any, obviously you can, $800,000. You can buy anything you want. What do you drive every day? Just out of curiosity. I want to make sure my TV wasn't tripping.
I drive a 2012 Honda Odyssey. This is a minivan. Now, I have two big boys, and it's just, most of the time, it's just me in that car by myself, but it's paid off. It has scratches because my kids were younger when we bought it. Right on stuff because kids are destructive by nature. Break stuff, but listen, the car works. It's paid off. It gets me from point A to point B. And I like not having a car payment. I cannot tell you, Rod, how much I love not having a car payment. You drive differently when you don't have a car payment. Like,
Yeah, you don't care. Oh man, you don't care. So now we got this new person that's just starting to invest in. There's several things that they can do that could be wrong, but what's probably the worst thing in your opinion, not in a book, in your opinion, that a new investor can do? You answered this question, but I just want to see if you still feel the same.
my answer is probably a little bit different because I'm going through this with my daughter. So I'm getting another opportunity in real time because I'm walking with her as she's going through this.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. I think the biggest mistake that any new investor can make nowadays is chasing trends, chasing what's hot. I have to pull my daughter away from AMC or some other craziness she found on TikTok. Like, no. I know it sounds exciting because they're her peers, they're young people, and they'll find what's hot and jump all your money in. You don't even take the time to look it up.
Mhm.
Don't even know what AMC stand for. Don't even know what, like, it's just, they just jump on it because you can make a lot of money and you lose a lot of money. So that's the worst thing you do, is to jump on trends. Another terrible thing that you can do is make excuses. This is something I'm talking to her about. Mom, I don't have any money to invest. What do you mean? Me and Dad pay for everything. Pay for the gas too. We pay for everything. Why you don't have no money to invest? Because you're spending it all up. Where are you spending your money at? Oh, I was on Amazon. That's a great opportunity to teach her. Okay, I said, let's look up who the CEO is. Since you love this website so much, we found out who the CEO was. It was Jeff Bezos. I said, let's look up how much one share of this company costs. I think right now it's at $219, $220 a share. I said, now let's look at your statements and see how much you spent on this website using your money the past month. She spent about $300 some odd dollars just ordering random stuff. I said, you spent more on this man's business than just getting a share in the company. And I think when she found that out, she was like, wait a minute, what? I said, yeah, you could have gotten a share of this company. But instead, now, if you need to buy things as a necessity, or maybe you just want to have some self-care, that's different. But there's a reason why Amazon makes billions of dollars a quarter, not a year, a quarter. It's because they make it easy for you to spend your money. So when people say, well, I don't have any money, that's an excuse. That's a mistake to me. Yeah. You just talked about $5, Rod. $5. If you can shop on, and this is just a mother's love, like, if you can spend money at McDonald's because you like McDonald's, if you can spend money on Amazon, if you can download this app and buy this and buy that, you can put $10. Don't tell me you can't. You can put $10 into the stock market. That's what I love fractional shares, because goodness gracious, there's no excuse. Like, I think Robinhood is $1. I think Fidelity is $2.
Fidelity is $1. Y'all, I have $10, and ain't nobody on this planet have more fun with $10 than Rod. I will buy 10 different stocks or ETFs with $10 and act like I just spent $10,000 and you can't tell me nothing. And I'll tell y'all I did it and don't care. It is fun. I would take not every morning, probably every 2 times a week, $10. And I'll sit out in my little, I don't even have a driveway. I sit out by my little garage and just sit out there like the old man in the apartment complex. And they be wondering what they think I'm on Facebook. So I'm over here buying stocks with $10 for 2 hours.
That's a huge mistake, is people saying they don't. And I understand if you have bills, because I have bills, I have family, I have all of it. But a couple of dollars. Like, I talked to someone I know who was getting their nails done. I said, I remember when they were $15 for a full set. Now they're easily $70, $80. I said, you can put $10 in the market. You can put $10 in the market. So that's a big mistake, is not investing because you don't have any money. You can put a couple of dollars in.
Well, I want to go back. I'm gonna say 3 things with that one question. Number one, I had my daughter don't even know this. I had my first grandfather to grandson talk with my middle grandson. And I was like, hey, you ever heard of a guy, Jeff Bezos? And he was like, no, that's what I'm going to tell you about him anyway. And I actually remember, y'all, when Jeff Bezos didn't have an Amazon like he has now. He was selling college books when I was going to college out of his garage. I actually purchased books from Amazon back then. I don't have them anymore. But anyway, that's that. I was expecting Shelise to give her initial answer, but I knew FOMO, or fear of missing out, was going to be one, because she did say that later.
Yes.
That's not only a new investor trend. That's also a seasoned investor trend.
Yes.
I do it probably at least once a month. I have to go through probably today or tomorrow or Monday and get rid of some stuff I bought last month that I didn't. I don't know what it did. I just bought it because somebody talked about it.
Yeah.
I didn't go put my whole rent money in there. I put probably $2 in there. And yesterday, I bought something because Wall Street Trapper said it. And boy, oh boy, I'm glad I listened to it. I even did a video on it. And I put $2 in there. But don't do that. Get you a VTI, a FXAIX. And I want to pull this up real quick. Lisa mentioned I had FXAIX. which is the Fidelity S&P 500. It's all 500 companies, top 500 companies in the U.S. It's about 506 because you have the Alphabet A and C, the Berkshire Hathaway A and B, and all that. The same company, two different stocks. So with FAXIX, it's top 500. But when Lisa does her updates and monthly, Mommy Trader does her updates, I go in and I check my stuff. So shout out to these two ladies. They keep me on my toes to watch my stuff. And that's why I want them to be put out there. So people don't just watch Raw, get different perspectives. I have a list of people I watch every day. I don't watch soap operas. I'll skip a football game if it's boring, and I'll go watch Mommy Trader, Lisa J. Stocks. I did it last night. You don't have to do that. Keep on watching the people that already got money. And then when the Social Security is gone and you ain't got no pension, because Mommy Trader did a video of people that are over 50 don't even really have a pension now.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it. I have a pension, and I'm scared. I have a pension. I'll get a Navy check the rest of my life. I have a 401k. I have an IRA. I have an HSA. I have individual stocks, ETFs. I have crypto, and I'm still worried. Does that tell y'all anything? Seriously. Now, back to the regular schedule program. So you got this minivan.
Yes.
You got the children. You got the 19-year-old in college, and I watched the video where you're now having to dig into the money. You spent so many years investing. Does it make you cringe?
No. Let me tell you something, Rod. One of the greatest pleasures I think I've experienced this year was being able to just write a check to my daughter's school. I didn't have to worry about student loans. I didn't have to worry about this or that. I was able, or my husband and I, we were able to write a check to the school. Do you understand? Like, I grew up with such money stress. I couldn't even go to camp, and I wanted to go to camp so bad. But we were behind on rent, and we had to, that took priority. And we were always getting lights shut off and this or that. And keep in mind, we were on Section 8 too, and it was just still a lot of hardships. And once I saw the light when it comes to finance, I was determined that when my daughter's opportunity came around, and I'm not saying like spoil her, but she wanted to go to college. And as her mother, or as my husband and I, as her parents, we wanted to make sure that it was a non-stressor, not just for her, but for us. And this is the reward of all of that saving, is spending it. And we didn't cash out all of her stuff. We just did enough for the semester. And I just actually sold more during the highs about 3 weeks ago. And I put that in the CD because guess what? Tuition is going to be due again real soon. And we can just go on and pay the tuition. So I have no stressors about it. It's a joy to be able to have that arsenal there where I don't have to stress out or lose sleep or wonder if I got to sign up for a loan or get a HELOC on a house. None of that. Send the money to the school. They got it. And we moved on with our day. Yeah.
I want to reiterate, y'all, please, when you watch us individually, I'm not talking about this collaboration right now. The things we do, we're not showing off. We want people to be in positions. Mommy Trader yesterday, I watched a video last night. I don't know how I missed this one. It was an older one, actually. And she stated she wants her daughter, when she's ready to buy her home, to be able to buy a home for mom and dad. They make a little money. The daughter get in on a cheaper house, and everyone wins. That's not goals to somebody out there. I'm on the wrong planet. Maybe this ain't even really happening.
Yeah.
When I moved into this place where I am right now, and I downsized, and I couldn't be happier in my life. I went from a 4-bedroom house to a 1-bedroom apartment. I could turn a complete circle and see everything. That's your tour. So that helped me. Let me see your house. You're looking at it. Right, so anyway, I paid my entire lease up for 15 months, cash money. Could I use that money to invest? Yep. But I could also get that out the way so I can now focus on the first. I didn't know if my rent got paid. I said, oh, boy, I hope that automated stuff working because if not, I'm going to be getting evicted. And it did. So we don't say that to show out, y'all. 50 years old, you don't have a retirement. Mommy Trader, I don't have one. Mommy Trader has videos. I watched it last night on what to do from step A to Z, like Amazon, on how to start your retirement.
Mm-hmm.
She has a video and it's not clickbait. I knew it wasn't, but a lot of people probably did, from broke to $500,000. You want to know how to do it? And it's not an infomercial. It's a reality commercial. Don't go Google it. It's not really a word. But go look at that. You want to see another mother out there? And that's what inspired me. These are mothers out there doing it, not only for them and their husbands and their spouses or whatever, they're doing it for their children. We talking about generational wealth, but are we living in generational wealth? Are we creating or are we just talking about it?
You're preaching today.
Do you have board in your hand while you're playing spades, but you're saying you got self? Don't lie to yourself. You can lie to me, but don't lie to yourself. Anyway, woo, Lord have mercy. I'm glad we ain't got about 20 more minutes. I ain't even got my towel. I usually have a towel up here when I start getting sweating and stuff. But so we're talking about the good side of things. One thing I want to talk about that I think we both experienced not long ago, you lost a large sum of money. If you don't mind, you want to tell everybody how much that was?
I believe it was $50K. And I put in the thumbnail that I lost $50K. And I'm going to do an updated video to this. Number one, because people watch those types of videos, but there's a message under it. Back in April, when the markets were horrific, they were like, I don't think outside of COVID, I seen the markets fall the way that it did back in April, so fast. And if I had to use any of that money the next week, we would have been out of $50,000 easy because the markets are down. And yesterday, guess what? I went and looked at all the accounts and we are down about $20,000. And how are you down $20,000? And so I know some people will say you didn't lose anything because you didn't sell. But if I needed to sell for whatever reason, I would have been out that money. And I always try to encourage people because it can get really rocky if you're a beginner, like Rod was talking about, and you see the market, it's blood. I mean, it was bad yesterday. And it may be bad on Monday because the shutdowns and now with the tariffs with China, it may be bad for a little while, but if you stick with it long term and you're thinking about the future, markets will be fine. Because if you remember back in April, it was down for about a week. And then literally, I mean, Lisa was here, you were here, all-time highs, like by the beginning of May. And I thought to myself, I wish I would have bought more when it was red. So if you are down, don't sell. If you can hold out, don't sell. And if you have some extra money, buy these dips, because Nvidia was it was at like $83 back in April, $83. And I think now it's at least $100 more in terms of per share. But if you find a good company, you have a good ETF, we know Amazon isn't going anywhere. We know Google, Microsoft, these companies are not going anywhere. They're here to stay. But these are the ebbs and flows of the market. So you have to be able to kind of put your big girl pants on, your big boy pants on. We're, like Rod said, we're all making videos. We're all in this with you. Like, we are regular people. It hurt sometimes. That's being honest when your account is down so much. But if you stick with it, you'll be fine. So yeah, that video, we were down $50,000 within a day or two, 50. And then yesterday, we were down almost 20. But we I made a video about this too, Rod, from April to October 1st, over $100,000 because the market came back. That's all. I didn't do nothing.
That's the point I wanted to get out there, y'all. When you see your money going down the drain, know that you have a stopper there. I'm going to try to put this in some hood terms so y'all can get me. You got a stopper in that drain. It's going to spit your money back out. Just gonna sit there a little while and marinate like some ribs. But you gotta hold on for real. You gotta hold on, man. I'm telling you, you gotta hold on like you hold it
Yes.
on Gilligan's Island in one of them typhoons. You gotta hold on. This woman just lost $70,000. I didn't look yesterday, and I didn't look in April, because when the pandemic happened, your boy lost $12,000 in a week, and I had a Martin Lawrence moment. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I didn't think about whether I needed it or not. I just knew it was gone. I knew it was gone. And I was like, Lord, it took me 10 years to say that, but now y'all took it in 10 hours. How this happened to me?
Yes.
I stressed out so much that week, that lasted for the next 2 or 3 losses. But I got all that money back. Matter of fact, I bought a car with it somehow.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I bought a Genesis G80.
Wow.
And not because I wanted it, because I know how Mommy Trader feel, and which is going to be the segue into my next thing. I needed that car because my main 2013, like her 12, got caught in a hailstorm.
Ooh,
I did a short about it because I was hurt. So
Yeah.
I had to buy that car. I didn't want to. I had to. Now, Mommy Trader did a video, and I want to hear her personal input on this while I have her on the screen. And this is probably, we got about 2 more quotes. I got like 12 minutes and 19 seconds left. I'm on this clock, y'all. Anyway, I forgot what I was going to say. I knew I shouldn't say nothing about it. Not seriously. All right, so looking at all this here and everything that we've went through and everything we've talked about, you went from broke to 500,000. You've made money, you've lost money. You've lost money, you've made it back and then some. And you have a way that you keep up with all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to get one, and I'm getting it right after this. Sometime today, I have another live at 4:00. Financial planner.
Yes.
Can you talk to everybody about the one you
Yes,
created? That's almost sold out, y'all.
I am a tracker. One of the things I've learned when I first started was you have to have a system, because I needed a way to track, okay, what did I buy and how many shares do I have, and is it growing, is it not growing? And yeah, I could look on the app, or log on to the website and see it, but I needed to have my own, because if I was attached to it, it would, I think, make me feel more accountable to the process if I had my hand on it. And the same with budgeting or paying off debt. It worked that way too. So I figured, let me just create something where if people feel like, you know what, they're not able to stay consistent, because that's a big issue with investing or finance in general, is people will start, stop. They're not consistent with it. And I just created a system for me and others to track their own progress. Does it get tedious? Absolutely. Does it get boring sometimes? Yes. But you have to be your own financial advisor. There are banks and credit bureaus tracking every move you make when it comes to your money. When you go to apply for a mortgage, they're asking you for everything, and they're going to pull your credit report, which reveals everything you're doing with your money, good or bad. And so I figured, if they're doing it, I need to be doing it as well. And it was a huge game changer mentally, because I stayed on top of it. And then I was able to stay motivated during the down market, because I saw, oh, long term, I'm doing fine. My account is still up. I may have lost some money on paper, the last week or so, but overall, I'm still up 18%. I don't have to be so worried or sell in a panic. And that's why I track everything. So I have investment planners. I have spreadsheets that I made that I use. And ideally, I didn't even sell any of that stuff. I was using it on the channel. And people would say, where'd you get that? Where's that from? I said, I made it. They said, well, you should start selling that, because I want that too. And then people would say, well, when are you going to sell this? Are we going to have that? And I just said, you know what? Let me make something that I would use, that my daughter would use, and perhaps it could be a help. And I didn't realize, Rod, that so many people wanted a way to track it on their own. Yeah, it's good on the app. Yeah, it's good on the website, but they wanted to track it themselves. They wanted to learn how to do it. And that's what the planner is all about.
And I haven't seen the planner, but I'll tell you, with me, I have all the iPhones, the iPads, the laptops, and I also have the Spiral notebook. I rather sometimes write stuff down, because then I commit it to memory. I mean, I'm old school. Now, The reason I brought that up because this is why I love this woman.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't going to mention that planner. She's not even thinking about making money. I asked her that question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if that had been Rod, that'd probably been the first. Hey, my name is Rod. Hey, I have a planner out there.
Yeah.
I just want y'all to know now what kind of question, But she didn't do that. So y'all please check that out. This is not here to sell anything, but I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
We have to start somewhere. Again, no more excuses. Every excuse you got, I'm like Future and whatever that girl name was. I got the answer. And I said that country ain't no W in there. I got the answer. And if I don't have the answer, Google got it. AI, somebody gonna have it.
Yeah.
I ain't talking about Allen Iverson, I'm talking about the other AI. Hey, I got 2 more questions because I'm down to about 8 minutes. And one of those questions is, oh man, I had it right here. Cryptocurrency. What are your thoughts on it?
I like it. My husband is more into the crypto. I like Bitcoin. I like Ethereum as well. My husband is the crypto guy in our relationship. I'm more of the stock market, real estate girly, in our relationship.
Now I have a third question. When's the husband gonna be on the show? Because I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
My husband has been on once.
I missed him.
He's not like a content creator. He don't even he will be on like the private stuff I do. Like if I have a dividend group and he's there sometimes. But he is not it's really interesting like how we even wound up together. I'm social, outgoing, I'm an extrovert. I don't mind talking to people. My husband is I'd rather stay home. I go to work, I come home. He's very reserved. But it works for us. And he'll come, if he comes on the channel, it's like I said, through the private stuff. But he was on the channel once publicly when I did a special live or something.
Well, you reminded me, and I'm not, and if people, just quick question, you have memberships, and that was one of my questions. I'm glad you brought that up. You have memberships now?
I have the join button, but I don't advertise or use it. I think when I became monetized, YouTube said, hey, did you want to add this option? I said, yeah, and I haven't really.
Well, how do you get to the dividend group then? How do you get to that group? I mean, whether you're husband or not, I want to get in the dividend.
Oh, that's all through my website. So
and what's the website?
mt1finance.com. It's always in my description of my videos.
All right. That's the last question I had, y'all. Boy, this is working out. It's not scripted. I watched the video yesterday, and Mommy Trader said MT could be an entity, and one day it is. How important, and MT is Mommy Trader, an entity, y'all, not a brand.
Right.
No, everybody cool say brand, but the people that really gonna do it say it's gonna be an entity. So Points Blank Network, we ain't gonna be no brand anymore. We're gonna be an entity. That's huge. So is it important to have that mindset? And I'm asking for me and the people in the back that's afraid to ask.
Is it important to have the mindset of being the entity?
Yes.
Yeah. I think what I loved about Dave Ramsey when I first started paying off debt was that he created something more than just another brand. It was what he did with the whole debt payoff thing, to me, was revolutionary because he made debt or paying off debt attainable. Mm-hmm. And for somebody from people from all walks of life, I know people that are in the hood and people that are in the suburbs and people that live in McMansions that have used that system. And I think I want MT to grow into something that anybody from anywhere can feel like it's approachable to them and they can apply it to their situation. Because a brand, to me, I feel like can get a little distracting from the message. Mm-hmm. My message has always been anybody can invest anywhere from any walks of life with any amount of money. I want to keep that message. And I do believe that if the Lord will, of course, I get to that one day. I would love for MT or me to be able to speak at different places, because I think when you can talk to people that look like you, or maybe they have something in common, maybe other mothers, maybe other wives, maybe, men who, look at me as their sister. We need to have more of these conversations in a space where you don't feel intimidated. You see somebody that came from where you came from and they did it without all the fluffs. I have no desire to be an influencer. I have no desire to be all over the place. I like being home. I like hanging out with my husband and my kids. But to be able to go out and just speak and talk to people about, you can do this. Don't think you can't. I know people, like yourself, Lisa, there's different people, regular folks. None of us are, I don't think any of us, anyway, I can't speak for you, but I don't think any of us are like outlandish and, extravagant. We are regular folks trying to build something for the generations coming after us. And if more people see that, like, okay, I don't want to be like this next big influencer, just a regular person. I'm the Millionaire Next Door, which is one of my favorite books, The Millionaire Next Door. It's possible. It's possible. And so, yeah, I would love for MT to grow into an entity that can change people's lives. I want the message to stay the same versus a brand where I feel like brands are good, but the message can be altered or switched, or you can forget the message entirely. And I don't want that. Absolutely not.
Wow. And Shelise just brought up a good point because and I looked at a video of mine last night and I had a suit on. I had on a sports coat and a tie and a shirt on. And I said, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to have the everyday image. I can easily go and throw a suit on right now, but I want to have a bald cap and because I want to relate to people that look like me that I need right now. I need to think like me because those same people are going to be opening the door for me. They're going to be helping me in the stores as I get older. So I want to teach those people while I can. Now, with that being said, I could never have the MT entity, but I can have the EM mindset. She just said it. I didn't. EM is Everyday Millionaire. Y'all, we on the screen right now witnessing greatness for free. We are blessed to have a millionaire on the screen. And to me, she just said it best. And I never really thought about it. I know it was something, but she is like my little sister or my little cousin. That's how I view her. She never heard this before. I've never talked to Mommy Trader 10 minutes prior to this live stream. If all communication has been via text. And I still look at this woman as like a little sister or my little cousin. And as long as we had that mindset, man, we can grow, y'all. It's never too late. I got one question. I got to respect her time and we got to get out of here. Lisa said, how should someone 69 years old have their investments positioned? This is the last question. I got to get Mommy Trade out of here, y'all.
Without any details, because it could vary from one person to the next. But if you're 69, you should definitely be more in conservative asset classes, more bonds. You could be in some dividend type of ETFs or funds. If you're in a lot of growth and you are 69, maybe you don't have good health. You want to just keep those types of things in mind. But definitely, I would say like maybe 80-20, like 20% growth stocks or whatever, and 80% bonds, dividend ETFs. Because like right now, if you're 69 years old and the market just crashed yesterday or, fell a lot, you're probably concerned because you're older. So the younger you are, the more risk you can carry. The older you are, the less risk you should carry. Yeah, you may not get a whole lot of growth, but when markets perform like they did yesterday and you're 69, almost 70 years old, you want to make sure that you can have some capital. I love the 3-bucket system. It's all over YouTube if you don't know what that is. But essentially, you're setting up your investments so that when you do retire, you have your first bucket with like an emergency fund, cash. You have your second bucket with like some dividend ETFs, stocks, bonds are in that money market. And then the third bucket has some of that growth there for long term. But if you are 69, let's say you're in not the best of health, you don't want to have your investments in a lot of risk. Because if you need that money, maybe you got to go down to part-time at your job. Maybe you got to stop working because, again, you're older. You want to make sure that you can have access to that capital. And if it's in a lot of tech and you're almost 70, it's a lot of risk. So not financial advice, but if I was almost 70, I would definitely make sure my portfolio was in mostly like income generating, maybe, like I said, bonds, definitely have an emergency fund, things like that. So yeah, just to answer that in like 10 seconds or less.
Last thing I want to say, y'all, get out of the mindset of saying money all of the time. Notice Mommy Trader just said capital. I use the word capital. Start thinking capital. You don't have to say it to your friends, your homies, your homegirls, but start thinking the mindset capital, not money. With that being said, we are at the hour mark. Y'all, it has been a blessing to have this young lady here. Thank everyone that asked the questions. Thanks, Lisa, Cruz Bolero, Meet and I, Ultra Plus Ultra. I can't call out everybody. Letitia, Sledge, East Boogie. I don't want to waste much time calling out everybody, but thank y'all. Please, if you didn't catch all of it, go back and check out the replay. I'm going to let Mommy Trader get out of here. Again, as always, I hope you have a blessed and prosperous weekend. Remember, it's never too late to start and shoot for the moon. If you don't make it, you'll be amongst the stars. I can guarantee you. I will be coming into soon, dropping much love, much heat, much fire. More importantly, showing you how to invest on a budget. Y'all have a good weekend, and I'll see you soon. Peace.
Thank you, guys.